Hello and welcome to Pantheon of the Geeks. This is an unboxing for the Guild Judgment, which is Lady J's box set, which Paul bought for me.
Yep.
Yay!
So you've been wanting this for a while.
I have actually, yeah, since it came out. I've wanted the new set because it just looks awesome.
There it is. It's actually going to quite a thick box.
It is actually.
Most of the boxes are the same size. This
thin.
feels quite thick.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to get this opened and see what's inside.
Okay, so shall we do that?
Yeah.
So the back of the box is just like the construction
pictures.
So they should look just like that, but we'll find out.
Yay!
Get the wrapper off. There we go.
Very cool. So, here we go. Oh, okay. Quite a few sprues. Got squishy things.
Cool.
We have one box
so
set
those
of
are
the
Death Marshals.
Death Marshals, which is quite big.
So all three Death Marshals are there.
Cool. And they're a lot different from the original Death Marshals.
Are they?
Yeah, the original Death Marshals were more human kind of thing. They look like cowboys with coffins stuck to the back.
Yeah.
These are very much skeletal, like undead.
We'll get the when we've stuck them together. We'll get the other models and we'll show them.
Yeah.
The coffins are full part though. I thought there'd be like separate bits to coffin.
Yeah, I think one
It's
of
a
them
full
was in the
piece.
original, wasn't it? Because it had a hand coming out of it, didn't it?
There we go.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
What else?
And that's the other. We've got Lady J, we've got the Judge, and the Totem.
The scales.
Who's really changed. Looks a
Actually,
lot more.
it looks a lot easier to put together because the whole scales part's one piece.
One piece, yeah.
I remember they were all separate, weren't they?
Yeah, the
That was a
chains
right
were
pain.
separate, weren't they?
It was a right pain, that thing.
Yeah. And here we have
The cards.
the cards and the bases. Yeah.
Which we'll see if they fit on the bases.
No, probably not, because I think Lady J's got quite a wide stance.
That's fine. Okie doke. So, who do you want to start with? 'Cause
We'll
this is your
start
box
with
set.
Lady J, I think.
Lady Justice?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll cut all these off into their individual parts and then we shall be back with you. Okay, so here is Lady Justice. This is all of her parts on the sprue. And there's the other side. So the best thing to do that we've done so far with the weird miniature is just cut all the parts off. Because there's no numbering system on them.
And you don't get any instructions,
you don't get
although
instructions.
you can get them online.
Yeah,
which
we'll
is
get
what
the
we've
online
used.
instructions up. But just to make sure we're doing it right, really.
Yeah.
But she looks pretty straightforward to put together. So we're just going to cut all these parts off the sprue. And then we shall return. Okay, so here are all the parts off the sprue. Not that many, really.
No.
And so a quick look at the instructions. They're alright. They're on the website if you need to see them. They're on a Weird Game. But I'm just going to do it in a different order because I'm going to stick the legs onto the body first. Here are our legs.
They're really thin, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because I thought the body was separate. I said, where's the body?
That's the body.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Tiny.
So, there are, on the back of the body, there's two slots. One there for the leg that's stretched out, and that one there for the leg that's bent. This one here. So, they do fit on. You're going to have to use a modelling knife probably just to get off all the flash, because it's a really tight fit. So I'm just going to stick those two legs on first and show you where they go. Okay, so that is the legs attached. So you can see she's got this really wide stance from there to there, which literally just sits on the lips of a base. You get it, pick her up, like that. So it is going to require building up in the middle because she's stood on the lip of the base. So I'll work on that separately and see what kind of base we can come up with for her because she's not going to fit exactly on. So the next thing, on the instructions it shows you to put the sword and the gun on first. Not that bit, the sword scabbard, sorry, and the gun on first, but I think it's going to be a bit fiddlier doing it that way. what I'm actually going to do is stick the arms on. So those are the arms. They're both together because they're holding on to the hilt of the sword. And we're going to just stick that on. So you have to again use a modelling knife to get all the flash off where it connects, and that's going to go on like that. So I'm going to glue that on and I shall be back. Okay, so there we go. It's quite a good fit actually. Problems there. So the next thing I'm going to do is stick the gun on, this tiny little gun here, and there's a tiny little peg on the back of the gun. Don't know if you can see that, it's just there. But that fits onto her hip. There's like a little hole there, and there's a gap on her thigh where it fits perfectly into place. So as long as you put the leg on in the right place, it should fit in. I've just dry fitted it and it does. So I'm going to stick that on. And then next comes this scabbard. So you've got these two little pieces of whatever kind of material that is, would you say? Leather,
probably leather strap or something, I would think, yeah.
And it goes that way. So it's facing the opposite direction from where she's holding the sword in the end. One of them is there, well, that's coming down, and the other one is around the other side. So those two bits of strap need to go onto that. It's really cool because you can see little scales there. I like that.
It's pretty cool, it's like Scales of Justice. Yeah. It's a little nod to it.
Yeah, it is, it's cool. So I'm going to stick these two parts on and I'll be back with you. Okay, so I think we're just about on there. Cool, so let's know what it looks like. So we have two pieces left. We've got the head, which thankfully is one piece, which is there, along with our hair. We have the sword. I'm going to put the head on first. So that just simply goes on there. So I'm going to glue that on, and I'll be back to put this on next, because that fits on to there.
Other side.
The other side. Oh yeah, it's going the other way, isn't it?
It goes right across the face.
It does, doesn't it? So yeah, we'll definitely put the head on first. It makes more sense. So I'm trying to put that on when that's on. Okay, we'll be back in a second. Okay, so there is our head on. And the hair fits over the top of the sword and everything else which is on perfectly. So as long as that fits on, you know you've lined everything up exactly how it should be. So you can see there it fits on just where the leather strapping is for the scabbard. So that's in exactly the right place, thankfully. And then the last thing to do is just to put this sword on, which as Claire pointed out goes the that way. So I'll do that bit and I'll be back with you. Okay, so there we have it. Finished. I don't envy Claire painting a face because of where the sword is. So if you're sticking this together and you want to spend a lot of time on the face, I'd stick the sword on afterwards. Perhaps put a little pin in there. But yeah, there we go. That's the model together now.
Cool.
And just need to make a base for it. So we'll see her at the end, hopefully on a base. And then we'll move on to the next model, which is
the judge.
The judge. So we've got the sprue for the judge on his own. There he is. So this is all the judge components.
That sword is awesome.
That's sort of gun blade, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing.
got like 3
it's like
guns
fantasy.
on.
Amazing. Cool, right, so we'll get the parts off and again we'll put it together just like before. Okay, so here's the components from the judge. There is just 5, and just so you know, again, the stance on these legs are on the edges of the base. Yes, again. See there. So you'll be stood again on the lip of the base, unless you put a base insert on. Okay, so this guy, pretty straightforward, looks like the judge. We have the legs which go in there, literally like that.
The bottom of the coat.
We have the bottom of the coat.
Top of the coat.
Which will be together then. Then the body will go on there. His head will go on there. And then the arm will go on there.
Pretty cool.
Pretty straightforward actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stick the whole model together this time. And if there are any problems I will stop while I'm putting it together and let you know. Otherwise, I'll probably see it at the end for this one. Because even the head, it's got a little peg on the back there, which fits into the slot there. So everything seems to go together really easily on the judge. But again, if there's any problems, I will stop the video and I'll be back before I put it together. Otherwise, see you at the end. Okay, I kind of wish I'd done that on camera because it literally took a minute or less to put that together there. Because all the parts have got interlocking sections. So that was super quick. So there it is, the Judge. That is an awesome model actually. I think that is so much better than the original.
Yeah, the original.
Not that I don't like the original, I do, but I just think that is so much cooler.
It's more dynamic, I think. They've been going for this Wild West theme throughout the whole entire Malifaux 2 edition, I think.
Yeah, it's got more Wild West, more
has,
frontier, so
yeah.
I look about it. But that's so cool with the gun sword, with the 3 guns.
Yeah. Yeah. The original Waddle had long blonde hair, I think, and a white coat I painted him in.
Yeah, but this is more of a duster, he's got on a brown duster.
Yeah.
But literally that model took less than a minute to put together, because everything has got like little pegs on. The bottom part's got pegs on. Like I showed you, the head's got a peg on. Even the arm there's got a little bit of slots on too. It was very, very quick to put together. I was shocked actually. So yeah, we'll move on to the next model. What are we doing next?
We'll do the Scales of Justice next.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so the sprue for that, we'll bring that on. A bit more going on this sprue.
Yeah, there's
so
a lot
2
on
body
this.
parts. Then we've got the scales, which thankfully is one big piece.
Yeah.
And then we have the hands and these little chains that come off the back of his head, I believe.
I think so, yeah. Like little dreadlocks.
Well, that's his little leg with all the nails in. Nasty.
Yeah.
So we shall pull him apart. Well, pull the sprue apart. You know, it looks like he's been pulled apart, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then we shall be back.
Yep.
So here are all the parts for the Scales of Justice. So this body part first. So I'm going to start with that. And here's the leg, which is there. And that should pretty much straightforward go on because there's a little peg there. Like that. So it's turned inwards, so he's like almost zombie-esque, walking forward.
I think you would be with all the stuff that he's got hammered into him and nails and stuff.
Yeah, he wouldn't be very well, would he?
No, not really.
Next up are these 2 parts, which are the lower parts of what he's wearing, his robe or whatever. Skirt thing. They go together like that, but they go one on either side of here. So I'm going to have to put them on like one on that side, one on the other. So I'm going to do that and I shall be back in a minute. Okay, so the 2 sides go on like that. Next is this part, which is the actual scales themselves. So those are his shoulder connections there. And then his arms come around the back, and then the 2 hands actually connect onto these here. So I'm going to stick these on first, and then I'm going to stick this onto the back of him, which is a little peg there, which should correspond to that hole just there. So that's how it tells you to do it. Actually, I'm going to stick this on first because pushing this into place might knock the hands off. So I'm going to put this bit on first rather than what it says on the instructions. And I'll let you know how that goes. And then I'm going to put these on. And I'll let you know whether I think that's a better way around or not. So I should be back once this is on. Okay, so here is the back part on. There we go. You can see it from the front. I think it is best to stick this on before you stick the hands on. However, it's probably best to put these on before you put any of the part on, because these bits go on the back of his head, which I'm now going to have to use a pair of tweezers to get in there, because they come off this part. You can see around the back of his neck there. So I'm going to use a pair of tweezers for that. So it's probably better to put those bits on first, and then put this bit on, and then put the hands on the back. I'd say it's best to do it that way around. So I'm going to struggle now, but I shall put them on next. And also, when you are taking this off the sprue, these bits are very brittle. So you see how easy that is just to move. Just be careful with the scales themselves. So I'll be back when I put these on. Okay. So these chains on the back of his neck are now on, and they attach to the pole on the back. Like that. So it might actually be easier to put that bit on like I've just done, because with a pair of tweezers, which I've just used, it was actually fairly easy to put those bits in place. There's one got a little square block on it which fits into this side, and the other one doesn't have anything on it which just fits onto that side. So there he is, he's finished. So I'll spin him around. There we go. Done. So that is the totem for Lady J done. And again, we'll see him at the end once he's on the base. But for now, we shall move on to the Death Marshals.
We're going to do this one first.
This is Death Marshal number 1.
This is Death Marshal number 1.
And they're numbered at the top there, Death Marshal 1.
Yeah.
So, there he is. So the legs, hat, the bottom of his coat, head, another head.
Yeah, I noticed that. He's got 2 heads, so you can either have a human head,
right,
or a dead head, like a
dead
skull
head.
mask.
Cool,
head.
with the flames on.
With flames, yeah.
Which are you going for?
Flames.
Flames. And then we have the coffin, which
Flaming
is either
coffin.
on the back or stood on. This guy looks like he's probably going to be stood on this one. And then we have the arms, which is this arm here, and then the one with the peace bringer and the attached blade. So, if you want to pull all those parts off that sprue,
I shall do.
and we shall see how this guy goes together.
Mhm.
Okay, so these are the parts of Death Marshal number 1. And just to show you the instructions, if you can see them. There he is. So you got the option of heads at the top. Claire's going for the Death's head. And then we have the body and the arm, the bottom of the coat, attached to the legs, and he stands onto the coffin. So we'll start with him. And we shall start by sticking the legs together and then them to the lower part of the coat. So these two just go together. There's a little part that attaches to, you can see there. A little square, and then that square also attaches to the underside of this, which goes in there, much like the judge's coat. So I shall put those bits together and I'll be back in a second. Okay, next part. There's his legs together in sort of a jumping position because he's still on top of the coffin. Is we'll put the body on, and there's a little lip there which goes onto there. After which the arm goes on onto there, and then the head should fit onto there. There's a little gap there, a little V-shaped gap for it to go into. As I said before, the head's optional. There is a different head. There we go. I'll go on like that. So we'll get the body on, the arm on, and the head on, because it all just goes together like that. And then I believe there's a little nick at the top of this coffin here, and I believe that this foot with a little part on there will sit on that bit. But also bear in mind, these flames here are also longer than the length of this base. So again, this sat on the lip, so they're raised up because of the way it is. So again, you're going to need to put a base insert in, or green stuff it up, or do something. So we should put the rest of this guy together, and if there's any problems I'll be back before the end, otherwise I'll see you when he's all together. Okay, so a little bit awkward to get on. There he is. What we've used a bit of super glue and some magic spray. I'll show you in a second if you don't know what they are. Or Clare can. So the army paint and magic spray we've used. There it is. I think over some super glue just to instantly freeze it into position. But there we go. So hopefully that'll set okay. But as you can see, it does leave like a white stain on things. So it's best to do anything like that before you've spray painted it. So he'll go like that, so he's sort of jumping down and shooting down at somebody. So that's pretty cool.
So next we have the second one.
Yep, Death Marshal number 2. There he is. So if Clare takes the parts off though, and what we're looking at is this guy on the other side. Show you that. So again, we've got a coffin. This time he's holding on to the coffin, so hopefully it's a slightly better join. I'm hoping anyway. And then we have the body, and then we have the choice of heads again. So let's take a look at that. I'll see whether I can actually stick the hand to the coffin first to give it a bit more strength. Which is probably what I would have done on reflection with this guy. I'd just probably, where is he? Stuck his foot to the coffin where the little nick is first before sticking anything else together. Try and give it some strength that way. But I'll be back once we've cut all these bits off the sprue. Okay, so for this model we have the coffin, which does actually fit on the base, which will be like that, and then his hand is what's the part that's holding it up. There's a lot bigger area than there is on the previous one on the hand. So the hand could go like that, so you can stick that on first, probably get away sticking it afterwards, and there's even enough room to actually put a small pin in if you wanted to strengthen it. I am going to try and stick that on at the end. So I'm going to stick the rest of them together first. I think there's enough sort of area on there for him to stick on. Maybe a bit fiddly still. Probably the best advice is probably to use a pin, a very small pin. If you've got a small drill bit and a small pin, you could probably drill that straight into there. Shouldn't be much of a problem with drilling it into that bit, so just be careful because his finger is pointing down, so you don't want to put any pressure onto that bit because it'll snap it off. And then under here we've got two bits of the leg that go together, and they fit underneath the bottom part of the coat. And again, just like before, we've got a little V section which will put the head into the neck area. So I'm going to go ahead and put this together. I'll be back if there's any problems. Okay, so I actually changed my mind and I have actually put on the hand onto the coffin there, because once I put this bit together I decided that was probably going to be a bit heavy, all that coat going on. So the next thing to do is stick that to that. It should just go on, it's quite a straightforward thing, and then put the head on. So I'm back with you when I've done that, and I'll let you know if there's any problems. Okay, so there we go, there's this guy finished. I did actually have to put some glue on there and some spray as well to strengthen it, because I wasn't happy by how weak the joint was. So my advice would be to pin that on. Retrospectively, that's exactly what I would have done. I would have pinned it. I thought it would be strong enough. It is now, but I would say if you were making this, pin it. Okay, so the last
Death Marshal.
Last Death Marshal. There he is. Number 3. This guy's actually on the floor. He's not actually stood on one of, or jumping over us. This is on his back, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah.
This is the biggest of the 3 coffins as well. It's huge. So we'll cut him off his base and then we'll start sticking them together. Okay, so these are the parts of Death Marshal number 3. And this is, if it focuses, rocks what it looks like. There we go. So you can see there we've got 2 heads again, but no hat on either of them. Body's separate, both arms go on, and the coffin goes on his back, and he's kneeling down on the floor. So we will start with his legs and with the bottom part of the coat, and then we'll be back, because I believe we're going to have another one of these ones that slots into place by the looks of it. So it should be pretty straightforward. Okay, so this leg slots into there, like that, and the other leg will slot in the back there. So I'm going to glue those into place and I shall return. Okay, so there's the bottom part done, so that just will sit on the base like that when it's ready. And we have the upper torso, which is sort of bent forward, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And
that will go onto there. Once that's glued on, we'll glue the arms on, because one of them is on the floor like that. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is holding the piece bringer. So we'll get to that stage and we'll be back. Okay. So there he is. crouching down. So next thing we do is put the head on, which again, it's got this little V shape, which will just slot into the neck. So, and there is where it goes. So we'll do that and we'll be back. So after re-examining it, his arm actually goes back, like that. There's a gap in the chain on his back. I assumed that was for the coffin to go on, but it's not. So his arm actually goes in a backwards position, like that. And then the coffin basically rests on there. So I'll have to stick that on. For that, what I actually might do is just use a little bit of green stuff on there and then use super glue. Okay, it's not bearing any weight, so it's not really an issue, it's just balancing it on there. So if we have a look at the picture on the back of the box, there we go. You can see that the arm goes back and then that's sort of balanced on his back. So we'll do that and then we shall return. Okay. So that is about as close as we can get it as to the picture on the box. So now we shall put them all on the bases, apart from Lead Justice, because Clare wants to paint that one separate.
Yeah.
I'll make a special base for that one, I think. So you'll see that one again in the future, hopefully. But the others will stick on the bases now, and we'll get the old models just so you can show you what they look like as a comparison.
Definitely.
So we're back in one moment. Okay, so here are the Death Marshals on the bases.
They look cool.
The bases are just made with some plasticard, which I just measured around the edge of the existing base, because if they were actually the way they were meant to be and there was no tapering on them, then they would be the right size. So that's just basically 30mm, and then underneath that is two layers of thin layers of cork, one just to fill in the lip and then one on top to flatten it, and then just cut around the edges just to make it like a broken path. And that's it really, because they take up a lot of the base, especially this guy. There's not much point in having fancy bases when you can't see them.
No.
So we've just gone for that really. So we'll have a look at the old Death Marshals next to these guys. So do we have them?
We do. They'll be really
So there's
obviously noticeable.
so
Don't know if you'll have to push them back a little bit.
obviously you can see the size difference.
The size difference, yeah. Definitely size difference.
Is massive.
Yeah.
Besides the fact the coffin's like twice the size.
Yeah.
There you go, the models themselves are actually much larger, much bigger coats. A lot more detail on, I'd say, from the plastic ones. Not there's anything wrong with these ones. These ones have obviously got the humanoid faces.
Human-esque faces, if you will.
As opposed to these ones. And they are in completely different stances, really. That one's jumping on, that one's kind of jumping over. That's probably as near as to the variants as they are.
Yeah.
Because that's the only one that's still on the ground. So you can see that the size difference is huge.
Yeah, they are bigger.
Much bigger.
Much bigger models.
I mean, all the new Malifaux second edition models are bigger than the originals. But
They
that
are actually.
Really
that does put it into scale for you.
That's huge, hugely different.
Yeah.
So we'll have a look at the judge now and the different. Should we put them out over there?
Yeah.
Out of the way.
With the others.
We'll put these further back. We'll put all the ends. And there is the judge.
Cool model.
And there is the old
There
judge.
is the old judge.
You can see there again, he's much bigger and a lot cooler. I
Yeah,
think.
definitely. He's a lot more Wild West, as we said before.
He is.
He's more frontier kind of thing.
And there's more motion in it, and especially in the coat and stuff.
Yeah, the way that he's like chucking his hand back and to stabilise himself, yeah.
And obviously again, he's got a much larger stance.
Yeah.
You see on there. So I think he's the most improved model, I would say, of all the. I think all the models look a bit better. Not that there's anything wrong with the first edition models; they still look cool. I just think the newer ones do look better, and I think he's the most improved overall.
Definitely, yeah.
Just from how he used to look, especially the sword. The sword's awesome.
It is.
A 3-shot gun blade.
Yeah.
It's amazing. 3 barrels on it. Cool. So I'll have a look at the Scales of Justice, which again is another Massively improved model in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
There's a difference. There's not as big a size difference between these two. In fact, when you look at the old one, it's probably got longer scales on it. It may have more mass around there, and it was a lot heavier along the back. But there's a lot more going on in this one.
I think it's more, I don't know, a lot more going on, like you say, and it's more grotesque.
Because he just basically, he's wearing a pair of shorts, and there's nothing in these as well. These are more like braziers.
Yeah.
In the way there's fire in them. And
I think the only grotesque bit in him is he's got nails in his arms, kind of thing, and his wrists.
So he's nailed to the
scales.
Where he is tied to the scales, and nailed to the scales, and nailed to everything else.
And he's got nails going through his legs.
I think he's got a mask on his face as well.
He has, yeah.
Like Man in Iron mask going on there.
I also noticed he's got a nail above his heart with a little
just there.
like piece of paper on it.
Yeah. So there's a lot more detail on this model, and it is one of the more improved ones as well, I think. But for size difference, it's not that much bigger. It's one of the few that isn't bigger. So we'll have a look at Lady Justice. Now Lady Justice isn't on a base yet because I'm in the process of making her a base, which will be a bit more on it because she's not as big as the other models as she is, as you've seen her before. But we'll just compare her to the previous masters. So there it is.
That was the original one that came in the box set, so quite busty.
Very busty.
Quite busty. Quite got a bit of meat on her there.
Yeah, and you see this time the model's actually a lot smaller.
Yeah.
So whereas the other models have all got bigger, she's got a bit smaller, a bit more lithe.
She's very thin.
Yeah.
But if you see the second edition that they did of her, I'll just put that over there. There's the second edition where you can see thinner. She's a lot thinner, still quite busty, but a lot thinner.
So she's been losing weight over time, basically.
Yeah,
and now
she's been on Slim Fast or something.
But even height-wise, she seems a little bit shorter.
Maybe.
It might just be because of her stance.
I think it's a stance, to be quite honest. If she was actually stood up.
It's difficult to tell. Maybe if she stood up, she'd actually be a little bit taller. But
I think her hair's grown a lot longer because there it looks quite ruffled.
Yeah, and look how long it is here. I'm actually onto it.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
And that sword's bigger, I think, as well. And
she's a lot more delicate looking. You said she's a lot less busty. But she's also lost a bit of clothing as well.
She has, yeah.
So, because her midriff's out and she's just basically wearing like a
boob tube.
A boob tube. So, in one way she's got a bit less risque, in another way she's got more risque.
Yeah.
But overall I approve, actually. I think the model looks really cool.
Yeah,
and the stance really where she's ducked down, she's going in to kill someone, basically.
I think it goes with who she is. I mean, having used the crew for the first time when we played against Nicodem, I think that stance really does suit her. The fact that she's lithe, she's sneaky, she's stealth-like.
I think what I'll do with the base, because the others are all so big, I mean, compare it to the judge. Oops.
Yeah.
There we go. Compared to the judge, look at the size difference.
Yeah.
I think I'll give her a bit of height on the base, like she's jumped on top of something. And then,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go with that. Give her a base a bit more height. There we go.
Cool.
Cool. So, there they all are again. These are the ones that are on bases. What do you think of the crew? After all, it's your crew.
I think it's awesome. I'm really chuffed I've got it. Can't wait to paint them.
You're going to stand there.
Stand. Kneel.
Stand. Kneel. Sit. Okay, don't know.
She's going to rest on. She's lying down. She's had She's had enough. She's like, I've given up. I've had enough now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to paint them. I think, looking at them, they're awesome models. They are really cool.
So if you get them painted, they will be painted in time for our Halloween special, maybe?
I'm hoping so.
So you might see these guys completely finished in a Halloween special that we're doing.
I'm currently doing the Ortegas. I've done Perdita, Santiago and Francisco. I'm currently in the middle of Nino. I've only got Papaloco and the young Nephilim to go. The chain Nephilim. So
by the time you see this, you might have seen the Halloween special, and these guys might have been in it, because this video might actually go up afterwards.
Yeah.
It depends on when it's scheduled to go up, but when it does,
they're going to look awesome.
I think they're going to look awesome. I look forward to seeing them painted anyway.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video this week, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Please like and subscribe, it helps out loads. And take care, guys.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.